Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Resort Tour. Today we are back on Walt Disney World property checking out another Disney Springs property. This one is the Hilton Lake Buena Vista, Disney Springs area, and it is definitely a great deal if you want some of the Disney perks that you get for staying at an official Disney World hotel without breaking the bank. And it even has a pretty spiffy looking Benihana that extends beyond the hotel, which I thought was pretty cool. So walking in, you have the check-in area, of course, this being a pretty business-friendly hotel. There's a pretty large convention center attached to it. So you may stay here for a conference and you can maybe skip over to the parks a little bit or let your family enjoy while you do some of your business. But if you head left from the check-in area, you'll find the nearly 24-hour market. This Main Street market is open, I think, until about midnight, and it is open super early. So I do love that they have this, and I did use my daily credits as a Hilton Diamond member in here. You can also use them at the breakfast restaurant, which is called Covington, but I didn't have a chance to dine there. I was making use of some of the early park hours, and that is a great perk of this hotel, is that you do get early entry into all 4 of the Disney parks 30 minutes before the general public, which is a great benefit. You also have included transportation to the parks, though you do have to schedule that well in advance, and keep in mind that transportation over to the Magic Kingdom drops you off at the Ticket and Transportation Center, so that can be a little inconvenient and doesn't get you as good of a situation as staying at one of the official Disney hotels that Disney owns and operates. So you catch those buses out the back side of the hotel that I just showed you there, and then we'll head over to the other side of the hotel where my guest elevators were, and there are a few other public spaces as well. Now, you can frequently get rooms here for under $200 a night. There is a resort fee. It's $39 a night. It does have some inclusions. You get some DVD rentals. You get the transportation to the theme parks. But overall, I would say that, it's just one of those pesky resort fees that we hate to pay. You do have parking that you have to pay for here as well, valet and self-parking. Parking is $35 a night. So you do have a bar area here as well, open pretty late. Again, there's a lot of conventions here. There were a couple conventions going on during my visit, so I did notice that they were open late, taking care of that crowd. As we make our way to the guest elevators, you have a few stands for Galaxy's Edge. This being an official Disney hotel, they're going to have these. And then you also have these DVD rental stations, which I have never used, but I see these at these hotels in Disney Springs and Hawaii, and I'm not sure why they still exist here, but you can use that to rent a movie for free. Just make sure that you return them on time. Here on this floor as well is the arcade, and this is also where the self-service laundry is. I actually made use of this during my trip, and I was very pleased that they had this available for me because it was quite hot in the park, so it was nice to clean my clothes. So I received just a nice little view upgrade just out the front of the hotel. There's really nothing too special about the view itself, but I did think that the rooms were quite nice here. This hotel definitely has undergone a slight renovation, so they've updated a few of the amenities, definitely in the public areas, and I did feel like the room itself had received a freshening up as well. So definitely an above average Hilton room, especially at this price point, and how much action these rooms see, because there's so many people coming in and out of Walt Disney World that these rooms can get pretty beat up. So I was pretty impressed with the hotel overall. I really liked my bed. Very typical to Hilton bed, comfortable enough. Nice large television, all of the electronics in the room, hooking up streaming and all that stuff worked great. So now we're going to show you a few more of the resort style amenities here. This is a true resort. There are a full pool complex here that I'll show you in just a sec, but nice little gym overlooking the pool. Not gigantic by any means. I'm assuming in the morning that this is going to feel quite busy, but they do have a Peloton bike there for those that like to keep up with Peloton, and then a small little area for doing yoga and different stretches and things like that. So overall, a nicely equipped gym, a little small, but has everything that you need. And walking out of there, we'll go check out the pools. I was actually not expecting too much from the pools here because I've stayed at a couple of different Disney Springs hotels in the last year and over my times at Disney World, and overall haven't been too impressed with them, but this one I was actually pretty impressed with the sprawling pool complex. You have a fun little baby pool right here to the right, and then a large pool here, no water slides or anything like that, so some of the kids that are a little older and looking for some excitement may feel a little gypped here compared to some of the fun that could be had at other hotels in the area. But overall, I did feel like there were a lot of amenities here on the pool deck, and we're kind of surrounded by the different convention centers that they have here at the Hilton. So there are a number of different Hiltons that I'll get into in just a minute, but this one is one of the cheapest in the family of brands, but I think it's kind of the best located. So we're going to walk out and show you exactly where it is on property after we finish our tour of the pool complex here, but little pool bar and restaurant that's open until 6 p.m. in the evenings, a little area for events. And so this hotel is one of the closest to Disney Springs in the Disney Springs Resort area. So you have that nice elevated walkway that takes you over to all the restaurants, all the late night activities there. And you do have Disney transportation to Disney Springs. So if you're in the parks and you want to come home to the hotel, you may find a more convenient option there, which is kind of nice. A few covered walkways to get you there. On my visit, I wanted to go visit Epcot, and so I made it there for a rope drop using my benefit. Geo 82 was open, and I was able to snag a reservation, one of the hottest reservations on property right now. Delicious adult beverages. This is an adults only lounge in Epcot, kind of near Spaceship Earth in the old corporate pavilion. They don't have a sponsor for the attraction anymore, so they turned that into bar space, which is pretty cool. And just enjoyed my day in Epcot. But if you're looking to use this property to gain access to some of the awesome Disney benefits like early entry, I've used it all across the parks in the past, and it's a great way to save a lot of money because if you're coming in on a quick trip, you want to save every dollar possible, or if you want to use award points like I talk about all the time on the channel, these are going to be awesome options in the Disney Spring area. You also have Marriott properties like the Swan Reserve and the Dolphin that are available on Marriott points, but Hilton is a great program for saving a lot of money at Disney. Now, another points option that's available right next door is the Holiday Inn. I stayed here on the channel just a few months ago. You can check out a full tour of the property there. So if you're an IHG person and you found this video, you can redeem your points here for a pretty killer deal. Some credit cards that you may hold in your wallet gets you 4th night free on points reservations too. So that's an awesome option. And then just down the street as well is the Renaissance Disney Springs. So this is one of the newer properties in the Marriott portfolio of brands. And so you do get early entry into the parks at this property as well. So there's just so many different options here, and likely if you are someone who's brand loyal, you're going to find a property that's on Disney property, an official Disney hotel that's getting you that early entry, which I think is the best benefit possible. You're not going to get the 7 days in advance lightning lane bookings. Unfortunately, that is one big detraction here. So during busy times, you may see a lot of lightning lanes already gone by the 3-day window when it pops up for you. But there's just a multitude of options, and I think that if you're someone who's here for a longer stay, and maybe you can either wait in line and not worry about lightning lanes as much, because you're able to save so much money on your hotel stays, that may be a very nice benefit for you in the Disney Springs area. So overall, I love the Disney Springs area for saving money on your Disney vacation. Thanks a lot for finding this video. If you like Disney content, if you love Disney resort tours, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out.